can you still achieve the American dream in 2025? And this has been a question that my viewers asked me during my live yesterday. And in this video, we're gonna go over all about it. Can you still do it? What does it require? And why most likely not a lot of you can achieve it. And so let's go into it and look at this article first here. 53% of surveyed people think they can still achieve the American dream. Now, to achieve American dream is different whoever you ask. For some people, it is a house with a white picket fence and a family and a 9-to-5. For some people, there's a Rolls Royce with a yacht living in Miami. So it is totally up to your interpretation. But let's say to get financial freedom and do the entrepreneurship route, because that's the route that I'm doing, and this is the route that I've picked for my life, and I feel like I've achieved the American dream. And so now let's go over at least my American dream. So let's look at what's required and what I had to sacrifice to get here where I'm at today. Free time and leisure, trading relaxation and entertainment for work and learning. So this is the first point that you gotta look into when trying to achieve the American dream. Everything that's worth having, you gotta sacrifice something. Is it time? Is it pleasure? Is it relaxation? No, because once you're in the business world, competition never sleeps. So you're trying to gain skill, knowledge, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So you gotta be aware and put away the let me just relax in this afternoon and let me learn a new skill. Let me see what my competitors are doing. Let me learn about this new AI tool that can maybe further my business. Let me jump on networking calls, right? So that's the first one. Second one, sleep. Sometimes sacrificing sleep, rest, and deadlines to build momentum. So one of the easiest thing how you can get more hours in a day is you cut down on sleep. So when you're sleeping for 12 hours, 8, 9 hours a day, it is easy to say, let me just cut down an hour or two and start building my business. And that is what's gonna set you up for success if you're gonna start doing that. And that's what I learned in the military. You can actually run off of less sleep than you actually need meant for a short period of time. I'm not saying forever. Now, this is where a lot of you guys are going to be not liking this one. Comfort. Stepping into uncertain risk and discomfort regularly. So when I started my business, I wasn't a confrontational person, and I did not enjoy having confrontations. And now when you're doing confrontations, you have employees. When you're trying to scale, employees don't listen. They don't do the stuff, and you got to let them go. You got to have hard conversation of, hey, this is what's coming. This is what I got to do. And no, you cannot get more money. No, you cannot get additional benefits. No, you need to perform better. You need to do all these things in order to make the business more money, make me more money, and pay the bills. And so you're going to have these conversations, and you're going to be super uncomfortable doing it. And it gets easier the more time you do it. Here we go, social life, spending less time with friends or saying no to events to stay focused. And this is what I've kind of learned early on, that if you want to do something, you got to be committed. And when I used to go out in Switzerland, I used to have like parties and go to nightclubs or something like that. It takes you away from the key aspect that you want to do. Where do you want to go? Where's your future? Is it going to be in the nightclub industry? Then you got to do that. But if it doesn't benefit you or the vision you have, you got to cut that out and start being focused and committed. Immediate gratification, delaying short-term rewards for long-term gains. And this is going to be super hard to say, but when I've worked, I've been constantly working, and I've now been at the point where I can take money out of my business, but there's been months or years even where I had to put money into it because I had to increase tech stack to be more efficient, had to pay this or oh, I had this big client and now taxes and all this other stuff. So you gotta know when to take money out of the business and when you have a month where it's not okay to take money out of your business so your employees can get a paycheck. And I feel like nobody talks about that when you run a small business, that hey, if we're not profitable, I have to pay your salary and I have to come up with the money. So yeah. Then ego and pride, accepting criticism, failure, and humility as part of the journey. And when I started, one of my family members, my grandma, actually said, "Oh, stop doing the entrepreneurship. You're not going to succeed. It's a pipe dream. Don't even do it." But when you have a dream and you have aspirations, don't let anybody in your life tell you that this is not right or you can't achieve it. You can. You just got to make sacrifices. You just got to make the right choices that you know you can achieve. And people will say, no, you can't do it. People say this is nonsense. Stick in your lane and trip and fall, and want you to trip and fall because they don't want you to do better than them. So yeah, don't listen to them. Just look at some of the comments I'm getting and be like, oh, another YouTube walker. You can either sit or walk. We can't fly, and crawling me on the dirt is not going to be a good video. So there's two things that we can do, right? Or we can do one standing. Here we go. Now, money. Investment into tools, education, or business without guaranteed return. And this is another thing that small business owners like myself, or business owners in general, that don't have huge corporate funding have to pay. We got to pay tech stack. We got to pay for software. We got to pay salary, benefit, all these other things. And then at the end of the day, we need to pay taxes, and then you pay yourself. And so all these things are upfront costs. And you, as a business owner, are the last one to take a paycheck, last one in line to get some money at the end of the month. And probably people can agree that run their own business. Let me know and I'll pin this in the comment section. And here we go. Security, pushing through fear of failure and rejection. And I feel a lot of people don't really try because they're scared of losing already before they've even started. And when I was in the military, they told me one thing: you'll miss 100% of all shots you don't take. So what do? You start shooting from 10 yards, and then you keep going 50, 25, 150. And so all these things will go practice over time. You don't need to get a home run on your first try. What you need to do is stay consistent, optimize the process, and become 1% better every day by atomic habits. And just say, you know what, if I'm a little bit better today than I was yesterday, I'm already better. And yeah, pushing through fear. And this is probably the biggest one because nobody likes to fail. Nobody likes to own failures. But it's how I call it is you fail yourself into success, not the other way around. People pleasing, making unpopular decisions, and setting boundaries. And I'm telling you this, if you're going to climb the corporate ladder or run your own business, you're going to have people that are not going to be happy with you. There's people that are going to say, I'm going to quit, I'm going to leave, and you just got to deal with it. And you need a spouse or a partner that will encourage you to say, hey, we're going to get through this. Don't worry about it. Let's keep it going. You can achieve great things. You just need to have these hard conversations. And even when I have hard conversations with my employees, I don't feel good because I'm like, man, what do they think? But as a business owner, you just got to do what's best for the business so your money is protected, or my money or my business is protected, and I can secure a future for my family. So here we go. Balance, accepting that life-work balance might tilt heavy towards work for a period. So when you look at work-life balance, it's a huge key word for a bunch of people, and it triggers a lot of people that's saying you need work-life balance, and this is what you want to do. You want to go tube down the river in Sacramento and do all kinds of stuff. And sometimes you got to say, no, I can't. Go on vacations. No, I got clients. I got deadlines. I got stuff that I need to reach. And this is what's going to be super hard, to stay laser focused, committed, And as you see, I say a lot, you got to be committed. You got to be committed to the cause, because balance is going to be really hard to attain while you're growing it. Once you have 1 or 2 employees, you can wind it down a little bit because you have help. But even then, you're going to be answering DMs. And I know that because family members complain to me about me being on my phone all the time, because I work from 12 noon to 8, 9 o'clock at night on my business. Those are my designated working hours. I leave my mornings free for other stuff like YouTube, walking, mental health, doing other stuff. And then I work from 12 to 9. And sometimes I work 12 hours. And yeah, it is just absolutely brutal when you want to do this. And so you need a mix of all of these together to achieve your American dream. And I think you can still make it. I think you can do it. You just need to be willing to sacrifice for a certain amount of time to then have what you really, really want. Because as we know, Americans are running on buy now, pay later. And entrepreneurship is the complete opposite. Even if you want to get into a career, it is upfront cost, payout comes later. So it is the complete opposite of what buy now, pay later is, what Americans love doing. And that's where my interactions as Europeans kind of give me a little advantage, I believe, because in Europe, they always told me, you'll never do anything. And I think even a teacher once told me that the city of Zurich also needs street sweepers. And now I'm living in a real nice house. I drive the cars I want. I have an amazing family, and I've achieved something that I can actually be super proud of where I came from. And I did it all legally. And there's a bunch of people that are coming through the United States that are going to try and actually achieve the same dream. And you can see these caravans coming, and they all want their own piece of the pie. You just got to be willing to sacrifice for a little while, and then you'll be golden. But it's hard. You're going to have friends, and this is the hard part. I have to breathe when I talk about it. But you're going to have friends that are not going to be your friends anymore because they just don't support the cause. You're not hanging out with them. They're going to say, why would I hang out with you? You're so busy all the time. I'm feeling like you're better than me and all this other stuff. And this has nothing to do with you being better than them. This just has to do that you have a priority shift and you're now working towards your goal, your dreams, your aspirations. And other people yesterday in my life also asked me, how can I keep going forward? And I tell them, there is no going back. There is no standing still. There is no tariffs in my roadblock. I'll just find alternative routes. I'll find all kinds of other ways how you can do it. Resourceful. See how you can move around stuff. See how you can get through without the regulations, and seeing how you can kind of maneuver, source from other countries, and then assemble last bits here or there and then call it American made and all kinds of stuff like that. And see how you can then achieve your success, your dream. And when you're thinking about you're saving up for 10, 15 years to buy a house, and you finally purchase that house, you're going to sleep so much better at night than you did in your rental unit because it was your dream, right? So stay focused, stay committed, and see what's going to be coming for you in the future. And if you sacrifice a little bit now, you're going to have great joy the rest of your life if you can do it. But like I said, Americans are not really the type of let me sacrifice now and live like nobody else tomorrow. And even Dave Ramsey said it, let's live like nobody else today so we can give and do something else like nobody else tomorrow. And even though I don't agree with a lot of what he says, that I cold-heartedly believe that if you want to achieve great things, you got to sacrifice. And yeah, let me know in the comment section if you are ready to achieve the American dream, do you have what it takes? And let me know your American dream story. And I just listed a bunch of bullet points on what you need to do. And now it's completely up to you to achieve that in the corporate world, in marriage, in relationships, in finance. And yeah, that was basically it. I'm here in Las Vegas living my own American dream. And if you haven't, please like and subscribe, and I will see ya in the next one.